The Pittsburgh Penguins have found their secret weapon, as forward prospect Tristan Broz made himself known in their first preseason game, and this has fans absolutely fired up. Hello everyone, welcome back to Penguins Digest. We have some very interesting things to talk about today, especially Penguins forward prospect Tristan Broz, because he is looking to make the NHL team this year, and I think there's been a lot of news about him, especially after yesterday, because his strong showing in their first preseason game. We're going to talk about that and more in today's Penguins Digest video. Before we do that, make sure you guys do, of course, subscribe to the channel. Currently, 67.5% of viewers, 0.5% of viewers are not subscribed. So if you are part of that large portion of viewers who are not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. We are bringing you Penguins content right when it happens, right when the news breaks. We'll be right here uploading Penguins content in the most digestible way fashionable. So hit that subscribe button right below. Hit that notification bell as well if you want to get our videos right when they come out. And of course, if you guys do want to join the Penguins Digest or Pittsburgh Penguins or just the Penguins, Pittsburgh City sports teams, check the link below, digestmedia.ca/join-us to apply to the family. We are hugely growing. If you are a passionate sports fan and you want to talk about your favorite Pittsburgh teams, we are always looking for people to join the team. Hit that link below. It'll also be in the comments if you want to join the team. You can do what I do. You can become a co-worker with me. You can do all that fun stuff. And if you love talking about sports, why not show it to everyone how passionate you are about either the Penguins, the Steelers, or even the Pirates. All the Pittsburgh teams, we are always looking for new members. New and exciting opportunities can be available for you if you hit that link and apply to the team. We're always checking, so hit that link if you want to. All right, it's been almost 2 minutes. Let's get into the video. So first things first, Tristan Broz's goal. First goal of the preseason was from Tristan Broz. It was a nice shot on the power play. Nice team getting some power play time, of course. I think he's going to be huge for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Just doing some research for the video and prior to the season, I dug into him a little bit more, and I think he's going to be a super strong player. I don't know if he's going to be, a blue chipper, one of the best prospects in the system, but I like his skill, I like his tenacity. I think he's going to be super, super, super solid. If we do look at his report from the Elite Prospects here when he was going to be drafted, it says Broz is an elite player with an attacking mentality. He's like a shark stifling out blood in the water when he's off the puck in the offensive zone, circling the perimeter, waiting for soft ice to emerge. And I'm not going to read the whole thing, but you can kind of see what is going on there, of course. And I think he's a very, very solid player. Again, he's not that old. He's only 22. Actually, the same age as me, so that kind of makes me feel old. But, kind of average. Maybe above average with 6 feet, 6 feet tall. And, can play center, can play wing, but I know he did play center recently. I think he's a super solid pick. Second rounder. I believe he was picked in the Hextall era, so maybe the only good thing Ron Hextall did while he was here, and same thing with Brian Burke, was keep around or draft Tristan Broz. So I guess maybe the extensions were also okay. I'm not sure what. I know there's a lot of bad Ron. You know what? I'm not gonna get into it. Let's not worry about Ron Hextall because we're entering into our Penguins hockey. I'm not gonna worry about that. But also, if we do look at his stats here, he's been very, very solid throughout his career. Of course, in the last season with the AHL Penguins, he had 37 points in 59 games played. And before that, in the NCAA with Denver, 40 points in 43 games, 28 points in 40. He's had decent production throughout his whole career. Again, he only played 2 playoff games last year, but he had 3 points in those playoff games. So if you want to look into that, he did have 3 points there. Even throughout his career, I mean, I'm not going to go to his 14U AAA team, but Elite Prospects they pretty much have everything here. So if you want to look into him as well, you can always check his Elite Prospects page. But I think Tristan Broz is going to be huge for the Pittsburgh Penguins. I think he is someone that Penguins fans should be super excited for, with him scoring the goal yesterday. I know there's a lot of cool stuff going on with the first preseason game. Miroshov, the goalie who I talked about in yesterday's video, had a super, super solid showing. Even Blomqvist, they only allowed 2 goals, and there was also a shootout where Broz also scored in the shootout. And I believe he also had 9 faceoff wins, which is pretty solid for him. But let's get into a ton of quotes around Tristan Broz. I think there was a lot to look at for a prospect that people might be unfamiliar with, especially because he dealt with a pretty big health scare last season. Just taking a look at some praise from his coach. Wilkes-Barre Scranton head coach Kirk McDonald on 2021 second-round pick Tristan Broz, who's getting a big opportunity this evening. I really thought before he got mono he was going to play up in Pittsburgh last year. He was outstanding for us. I think he's going to have a huge year. So obviously he dealt with mono Obviously, a super, super tough illness to deal with, especially if you're an athlete. It affects practically everything. There's a lot of players who have dealt with it, and has impacted their play a lot. And I think it's pretty high praise to say he would have actually played games with the team. I know the Penguins weren't the greatest squad last year, but they have a lot of center depth. And I don't know if Tristan Broz is going to get run on the wing with them, but I think someone like him who has high praise from his coach, he's a hard worker. I don't think the raw point production is too crazy, but again, after I showed his AHL stats, it's not a super high scoring league generally speaking, but he's going to have a huge year as high praise from the AHL Penguins coach, of course. And let's get into some more quotes, obviously, from Broz himself. He said, I think it's a really cool opportunity for me to be an example. That's not necessarily how you start. He's worked on getting stronger, faster, and more powerful, and his 200-foot game, obviously derailed by a case of mono to start the calendar year. Maybe that could have impacted his play also if he, the point production that I've been alluding to earlier. But I think it's going to be very solid. I don't know how many times I can say that. Again, it is super important to, not look at the prospects always by a year-by-year basis. Injuries do always happen. Progression isn't always super linear. So, maybe instead of point production, he worked on his defensive game. It's kind of hard to just look at the elite prospects or Hockey DB page and be like, yeah, this is what he is now. Maybe he's a solid penalty killer. He's a solid forechecker, but it doesn't always equate to raw point production. Again, some more quotes from Kelsey on Twitter as well. Don't underestimate Broz. I don't think there's a forward quite like him in the Penguins organization. A very responsible player in all three zones, and he was having a great year in Wilkes-Barre Scram last year before his bout with mono. So obviously his mono illness was a major factor in his play from January onwards. Obviously something he was dealing with heavily. So I think he's primed for a great season. It seems like, that illness is in the rear view mirror. So I'm excited for him to watch him throughout the year. I think he will get more run with the Penguins earlier than we think, because the Penguins, there's going to be a lot of moving pieces. I don't know who's going to get traded, who's going to stay. There's a lot of fights on the forward depth too. Someone like Robbie Fabry, who knows what's going to happen with him. Rucker McGrody's also out, so there's a lot of moving pieces with the Penguins. But I think Tristan Broz might be their most NHL-ready prospect, aside from someone like a Rucker or maybe a Koivunen. There's a lot. I think there's some stuff to be excited for. I think the morals are high in the Penguins organization right now. The Penguins, the Crosby rumors are done. Fleury's back for a game, and there's a lot of young players to kind of be excited for in the lineup, of course. And then Tristan Broz got some run on the first line center with Danton Heinen and Anthony Mantha. Obviously, this was more of a prospect tweener lineup, even with Tommy Novak, who's likely going to be the third line center there. Someone like Robbie Fabry also did play a solid game yesterday, and then someone like Ben Kindle is someone to look at as well. So a lot of interesting stuff from the Penguins. This lineup was obviously interesting to watch. Unfortunately, they did lose, but some quotes from The Athletic from Josh Owe. He said, sometimes the guy who scores the team's only goal isn't the best team's forward in a particular game. I argue, however, that this was the Penguins, that Broz was the best Penguins forward. I like the shot-first mentality he plays with, and I like his decision-making with the puck in general. This is a smart hockey player, and he can really, really shoot the puck, too. I wouldn't be surprised if he makes the team out of camp, and I'd be surprised if we don't see him, in Pittsburgh at some point this season, make his debut in Pittsburgh, So Tristan Broz, I think he's someone to look out for if you're a Penguins fan throughout the season. I think it's very high praise from someone like Josh Ohe, who's always around the team, to say he could make the team. As I said, I believe he's the most ready NHL prospect. Do I think he's the most high potential, high ceiling prospect? No, but I think he could play really solid middle 6 minutes for the Penguins throughout his career, especially if someone like Malkin is gone in the next season. Maybe he could play some more minutes then. Raquel and Russ, if they get traded, there's going to be some more minutes there, of course. But it does look like Sidney Crosby is going to be staying for the near future. And then to wrap up the video, the Penguins schedule coming up is the Pittsburgh Penguins versus the Montreal Canadiens again. And then this is actually, I think, the wrong screenshot, but I believe that was yesterday. But there's obviously the Penguins and the Blue Jackets Wednesday, and then the Red Wings and the Penguins, which will be in a couple days here on Friday. So I like this. I like Tristan Broz for the Pittsburgh Penguins. I think he's a super, super good player. He's a good prospect to look at. But there's a ton of prospects as well. I didn't even mention Miroshov or Kindle or Hunter. I think Bruznek is how you pronounce it. I'm going to look into that. But I'll have that pronunciation for the next video, because he might be the next person I make a video on. Anyways, there's a lot of stuff going on with the Pittsburgh Penguins. So if you did enjoy the video, like, share, subscribe. Let me know what you guys thought of Tristan Broz's first game with the Penguins this preseason. And let me know if you think he's going to make the NHL team. So that being said, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button. We'll be covering all Penguins news here on the channel. Peace out and have a good one as always.